Hi, Drew here from Mann Lake, here for our April bee buzz. We're about 8 days out from 10 inches of snow. You can see we still have some snow piled up here. We're out here checking my good friend Brandon's bees. Unfortunately, his bees did not make it through the winter, so we're just going to go over a few things to clean up and get ready. Obviously, if your bees are still alive, now's the time of the year we're going to start using some pollen patties. Ultra Bees is the way to go. Personally, I like the Ultra Bee with the rocket fuel. Feedback I've been getting is very positive on that. That's one of the products I strongly recommend personally. We're gonna go ahead and dig into the hives a little bit, go over some cleanup tips. One of the things you might be curious about doing is figuring out why your bees died. We're gonna go ahead and dig into this hive, see what's going on. Looking in this top box here, plenty of honey, plenty of feed, so I'm not thinking that was the issue. So looking here in the hive, can't really see, but not seeing much as far as clusters go, and it looks like we've got a lot of dead bees on the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead, start cleaning off some of these bees. Get those cleared off before they start to mold. Up here in Hackensack, we're getting close to the weather hopefully staying above freezing, but so far we're still getting down below freezing every night, so that's preserving things, making sure stuff's not molding on us. All right, as I'm going through this bottom box, there's still plenty of honey. They're real wet, so definitely not an issue as far as food as to why they died. So with this hive, all the bees are dead at the bottom. That's a sign to me that they either weren't big enough, strong enough to survive the cold temperatures, or moisture got to them. Either way, it's important to go ahead and get this cleaned off. One thing I will stress, for us at least, before we get our bees here, end of the month, first part of May, we're not going to have to worry about wax moths up here. It's not going to be warm enough for them. But mice are an issue. So if you have equipment, bees are dead, I would recommend making sure you keep that mouse guard on there so the mice don't make a home. And you go to put your packaged bees in and you find out the mice have been living in there. It's not a fun experience. So we're gonna go ahead and get this cleaned up. All right, and we're just scraping all the dead bees off. Like I said earlier, as things start to warm up, we don't want them to start molding. So the less cleaning your package or nuke has to do when they get in the new hive, the better it is. They can start focusing on producing brood and eventually honey. Here we see some signs of capped brood. This was more of an issue of the cluster was too small or it was too cold. They ran out of food stores where they were clustered and it was too cold for them to move. One other thing I notice here, is we've got some mite feces in here. This bee here has some deformed wings on it. Seen a couple other kind of sick looking bees, making me think that we didn't do a good enough job of getting mites under control. So a combination of all of those stressors is probably what led to this hive not making it. One of the things that's important to do before you get your bees in is to get your electric fencer all hooked up. I've got our Gallagher S200 here. That's what we used last year. We're going to go ahead and use that again this year. We'll get our fence hooked up. We've got the ground wire hooked up here. Going to go ahead and put the other charge on. Before I turn the fence on, I'm going to go around and clear up all the brush. I'm going to bring my weed whipper out to the yard, clear all that up. That's something good to get knocked out here before it starts regrowing. Now that we've got that done here, we're going to go ahead and turn on the fence. All right, and we're working. One more thing I like to do this time of the year is to pull out my old comb. The academics in beekeeping recommend switching out your foundation every 3 to 4 years with the buildup of the different chemicals that your bees bring into the hive. The wax is a very good preservative of those chemicals. So every 3 or 4 years I'll go in and my old equipment and replace it with our Max Wax Right Cell Foundation. I've found that the bees draw that out the best. The frames hold up well, and it just sets my bees up for success. All right, well, thanks for watching today. If you're like Brandon, I would recommend jumping on our website to check our availability on packages or nukes. Like and subscribe to our YouTube page to get our monthly updates on what to expect.